Hello everyone and welcome to another video where we are going to visit, in this case it's going to be the Botanical Garden. So we're going to make a tour with every single flower donated. So let's get started right now. So as you know, every single item that you collect, uh, whether it's a zoo, the museum, or the garden, it's going to have a plaque or kind of a description of the item that you donated. So here we have the one for the white rose, and it says that every rose has its thorns, just like any gardener should have a pair of gloves. And if I'm not mistaken, this kind of reminded me to a song, but with the lyrics modified a little bit. Now we have the orange lily. Lilies are extroverts and quite social, but they hate being stood up. Now, as something that we're going to keep finding here is kind of little jokes, sometimes mixed with interesting facts of the items here, in this case, the flowers or the plants. So this is the yellow heliconia. These are known as yellow dancers, and I heard that their favorite water is tap. Like this one, it's a good fact, but also some kind of a joke in the middle of there. Now the white lily, only the white lilies are scented lilies, and that's okay with their colored lilies. They all like to get along. As you know, many flowers will have several, let's say, other versions like color ones. So lilies is it's an example of them. We will keep seeing lilies in the garden. Those were the white ones. Right, so proteas date, well, this is the pink protea, and it says that they date back millions of years. Might have been popular on dinosaurs' corsages. I think the name sounds pretty cool, kind of like referencing the fact that they are very old, or that they've been existing for a long time. This is the orange tiger lily. Leopards are orange too. Leopard lily doesn't sound as cool as tiger lily, leopard lily. I do agree. Tiger lily sounds way cooler. This is the red anthurium. The colorful heart shape is not a flower, it's a shield leaf that protects us multiple tiny flowers. That's because, sometimes defense is the best defense. Another cool fact, like one might assume that the red color thing it's a flower, but it's actually just a leaf that's protecting the flowers. Black rose, there are a few other ways to express that you are an angsty teenager in love. I guess we all were at some point one. Red amaryllis. Amaryllis can rebloom every year. It's inspirational how some plants can survive extreme temperatures, wildfires, and even return from the dead over and over. I guess that's inspirational, but also a little bit scary if you think about it. This is the white dahlia. Dahlias can be found in nearly every color except blue, so if you spot one quickly, help it could be choking. It's important information. We all want our flowers to be safe. Orange collarette. The small petals surrounding the center of this flower look like a collar. I wonder if they have casual outfits for the weekend. Sacred lotus. Be like a sacred lotus flower. Let the beauty of your heart speak. Be grateful to the mud, water, air, and light. I think this is a reference to the fact that the lotus actually grows in water, and often in murky or like I guess like dirty water, or it could be mostly just natural water that is not a clean pond. And and that's a beautiful thing about the lotus, that they can grow up and be as beauty as they are, even when they are growing in such contrasting place. This is a white petunia. White petunias can't rely on showy colors to attract insects and hummingbirds, so they have to be very funny. Yellow rose. Yellow roses are a symbol of friendship and caring. Never send yellow roses to someone you're romantically interested in, as they suggest you prefer to stay in the friend zone. You see, very important information that we have here to share. You don't want to be, automatically putting yourself in the friend zone, so best to avoid that. These are birds of paradise. It says here, I've been trying to understand why they call this flower bird of paradise, but this bird is blocking the view and it won't go away. So that's the cool little flower that they have. End up looking like a small bird. I think that's very interesting about that flower as well. The red camellia is one of the rarest flowering plants in the world. I guess we're going to take the word, for it. Pink anemone. Several anemone species spread more vigorously and are considered strongly invasive plants. They'll try to get your phone's password if you get distracted. Careful with them. Yellow petunia. Petunias are related to tomatoes and chili peppers, although you should probably stick with them for any sauce you're planning to make. I've actually seen some recipes using flowers. Not sure if there were any petunias in those. But like here's an example of a common plant that we'll see in recipes. Not the plant or the flower, but a carnation. Kind of reminded me of something. The white carnation will change the color after adding food coloring to the water. So we could have very interesting plants or flowers, like a quick decoration trick. This is the pink gerbera. They can discharge oxygen and absorb toxins found in the air at night. Seriously considering retiring my boring superhero nightlight. Right? I mean, at least this flower will keep the air fresh. The purple dahlia. I recently learned that there are dwarf dahlias and giant dahlias. Is it wrong if I imagine them fighting with swords and shields? I honestly am a big fan of that type of things, So I am definitely imagining or picturing them as, wearing that. Okay, so this is the first area. Again, I think it's the one very cool thing about the garden is that it's very colorful, and you can see every single donated flower here. And again, just maybe have a little fun reading the plaques or the information that we have there, and also maybe even like spotting some flowers that you really want to know more about. And you can always take the actual name that we have, the actual name that we have here, because it's a real one, and you can try to look more information about them. This is a common one, the sunflower. Young sunflowers follow the sun until they reach maturity. Young suns follow no one until they reach maturity. I can vouch for that. Daisy. Daisy's name comes from day's eye because they close at the night and open again during the day. They also have a bad habit of staring. This is another carnation, the red carnation. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I behold this flower as beauty incarnate. Black tulip. A character from a classic novel will pay a lot of money for a black tulip. Too bad it was fiction, otherwise you'd be rich right now. I think that one is from a book, the same author that made The Three Musketeers. This might have been a very interesting book to read. The orange gerbera. If the flower information is quite fascinating, at first glance it appears to be a single flower with numerous tiny petals, but it's a huge cluster of hundreds of tinier flowers. So it does have big flowers or petals, but it's also having tons of tinier flowers. It's very odd. The white Alstroemerias drops producing flowers if they get too hot. And how could we blame them since, hot weather often causes low productivity. Yellow lily. Lilies are highly toxic to cats. They're constantly questioning what they do or where they spend their time. You gotta give them some freedom. This is a blue anemone. I'm not sure. Its delicate petals are blown open by the wind. I feel they are all looking at me for some reason. I like the fact that some flowers can be so fragile that just the wind can open them. The orange amaryllis. A fun fact, by waxing the bulb of this plant, it can grow with no soil or water. It's like lazy gardening. So you can take one step, an easy one, or maybe it's a little bit complicated, but after that, you don't really need to worry about it. Pink dahlia. Dahlias were originally classified as vegetables because of their edible tubers. So I had to look that out because I don't know what a tuber is, but apparently it's a part of the plant, mostly, maybe always, I'm not sure, like underground, kind of like roots, I think. So if you would take dahlias outside of the ground, you will find that they have tubers and you can eat them. This is the white anthurium. The anthurium is extremely poisonous, so you better back off with that hot dog bun. So of course it's not a hot dog that you have there. Pink Alstroemeria. Don't worry, your nose is fine. While beautiful, Alstroemeria flowers have no fragrance. So sad to be a flower and don't have a fragrance. The blue tulip. Tulips were once the most popular flower in the world. Now that their moment has passed, some of them are blue. This is the yellow gerbera. These were named in honor of German botanist Trogot Gerber. So imagine calling them Trogotas instead. I think they made the right choice. We're only missing, I believe, the ones in the middle, and then we can go to the other room. This is the blue rose. Blue roses are blue, red violets are red. This is the worst poem that I've ever read. The yellow tulip. Their flower buds are known for being almost perfectly symmetrical. Maybe that's why I can stop looking at them. Yeah, so I think that might have been part of the reason why tulips were very famous at some point. Because, they have a very unique shape. The petunia need at least 5 hours of sun to survive. If I get much sun, I get burnt. Yep, I once went to, I was at the beach and didn't use any protection, any lotion, I forgot the name of it, but the thing that protects you from the sun, and suffered a lot on the next day with some severely sunburn. This is the balloon flower. It is so graceful to be blown by the wind to go where it takes you like a balloon. So, like here, this is something I know as well. Balloon flower is not called like that because of the final stage of the flower when they are open, but while they are growing, and I think we can see some examples here, like this here. There will be like kind of a round flower, kind of like a balloon, but that's before they actually open up. Pink tulip, please give me a big kiss right here on my tulips. Purple petunia. The Mayan people believe that the scent of petunias had the power to ward off underworld monster and spirits. I've never seen a monster near petunia, so it must be true. That's true. That's right. The red rose. Roses aren't just pretty, they are also found in perfumes, food, and drinks. Is there anything they can't do? Yellow Alstroemeria is known as a friendship flower, although I heard roses saying that they're a bunch of gossips. So again, there's a theme with the coloring or the color of the flowers, where some color mean something special, like yellow often mean friendship, I think white is like for asking, when you want to say someone that you're sorry, and often red is like a romantically interest in someone. The white frangipani, many Hawaiian lei are made from frangipani flowers. So this is like the colors that they wear at luau's, I think is the word. The red coloret, petals of the coloret have to work hard and earn a lot of favors if they want to be part of the inner circle. I like that joke, actually. It's pretty clever. Pink lily. Certain species of lilies are solely grown for their edible bulbs. I have heard that they are quite delicious. Another thing that we've seen before, like flowers, we now can appreciate most of them because we can see them in photographs or as screensavers and not even in real life, but we know that flowers are pretty. But before, even though they might have told or thought that, um, I think life was more about using the things you had around you to survive or take advantage of them, and if you could eat something, that's huge. So I think that's why many people checked if you could eat flowers, even if it's not a thing that we do much right now. The white camellia is a flower that can be used to make iced tea. Strategy, not teasing. Okay, purple pansy. Don't mess with the pansies. Despite their delicate appearance, pansies are hardy and can resist diseases in cold temperatures. The blue passion. This plant works like a bed and breakfast for butterflies. Its vines provide food for 70 different types of butterflies and can also hold their eggs. That's very interesting how you can have a flower that not only like allows you to eat from it, as an insect, but it can also keep your eggs there. Lily of the Valley. Take a chill pill. This lily is like a totally bogus. Again, I might have missed a reference or something. Where to go now? I think we started up there, right? So I think we'll read this. This is a purple hepatica. It was once believed they were useful treating liver diseases. However, soon people noticed that plants can write prescriptions. So they might have just eat them. If you would wait for them to write a prescription, might suffer more from your liver disease. This is a knapweed. This plant exudes a chemical that prevents establishment of neighboring plants. And I thought my neighbors were bad. So many neighbors do that as well by being very unpolite, I would say. The red tiger lily. Tiger lilies help in relieving stress, anxiety, and depression. They are very good listeners. There's another hepatica. This is a blue one, and this can pollinate themselves. They firmly believe that if you want something done right, you should do it yourself. Beautiful flower, check. Fragrant smell and delicious flavor, check. Flaming hair that burns like the sun, check, check, check. So ginger is a very popular one and a delicious flower. I think you eat the root of the flower, but still it's a pretty beautiful one. Egyptians used lavender during the mummification process. If an Asian mummy ever chases me, at least I will enjoy the smell. Marigold. Marigold's strong scent keeps many pesky pests and critters away. Don't mention this before them as they are embarrassed about it. So I guess, you could feel embarrassed that your smell is the one that is keeping other creatures away, but the fact that you are being very useful is also something remarkable. So I wouldn't feel embarrassed if I were a flower that do that. This is the red heliconia. True flowers are hidden inside their colorful bracts. They are small and timid, so please don't disturb them. Again, another example of interesting shapes that are made to protect the plants. This is another frangipani, and this will tolerate a wide range of conditions. They are not afraid of giant spiders, huge snakes, or enormous bats. This is a very tough flower. This is a white protea. This can survive wildfires, and it's no pun. That is just awesome. A plant that survives wildfires. That's crazy how like one can think that the one thing that cannot survive a wildfire, it's a plant, but those can. Yellow pansy. The pansy was particularly popular in the 19th century and was often used in love potions. Must work because everyone I know loves them. Poinsettias will only flower if they're exposed to 13-16 hours of darkness a day for several weeks. Sounds like the average teenager, or just a very bad character for a comic book. You know, evil. Not bad as a bad rhythm, but an evil could be interesting to go through that. Orange dahlia. They are believed to be the most popular competition flowers. When they win, it's because everything went according to plan. And I think finally, these are the pink frangipani. And this flower doesn't have a nectar. They deceive the insects that come to pollinate it and then often feel very upset about that. So I think this again is not a flower that actually grows like this and might be from trees. So the fact that they grow in a different manner is what attract pollinators, and well, there is no pollen in those flowers. Alright, so here's another view of the place. Now we can focus on what you can see. We can see some elephants around and some other flowers just decorating around. I think it's a good place to just walk around and see what's around. But for the collection and the flowers that we can find in here, that'll be it. I hope that you found something interesting, some flowers that you might even want to check even further. And if that's the case, just check the name again and look at and try to find more information. That might be very interesting to see and learn from them. But that's going to be it for the video. We'll see you in another one. But until then, goodbye.